Jimmysnow. This is why you're a joke. This video that we're about to review, I think, shows off your hypocrisy and your complete lack of self-awareness better than any of the videos before. But it's easy for those of us already on a certain side to go like, okay, yeah, obviously that's wrong. Duh. But when you make a video, this one about cancel culture, that is so steeped in hypocrisy down to the smallest level, which I'm going to be showing you all in this video. It's actually hilarious. My goodness, how do you lack such self-awareness? I just don't know, but that's the topic today. Let's just get started with what they say cancel culture is, and I guess I'll end up starting by correcting it. Hi there.
Hi there.
I am Jimmysnow, host of the Sometimes Show, used to be the host of Dear Mr. Atheist. I am involved in a debacle between herself and Gabbie Hanna. I would like to start with this. For a couple of reasons, I resent that I'm here addressing this. Let me say the first one that actually makes me quite angry so I can get past it and get past my pleasant self. As most people know who watch my channel, I really don't like being angry. It's an emotion that I don't enjoy. It affects the rest of my life in very negative ways. Yeah, that one. Let's keep listening to their thoughts on cancellation. I'm sure if you were like, oh, he's about to go off, and I stop myself, don't worry, I won't be able to stop myself the whole video. It affects the rest of my life in very negative ways. Toward the big thing that I resent here is that so many people have left these comments demanding I answer for it, demanding I apologize, and have even had comments who have like, Jimmy, you needed to hear Rachel's side of the story and apologize. And you know what? None of those comments have in here. All of these comments attacking me, telling other commenters they should unsubscribe, and just saying hateful things about me. None of the people driving it have once gone, Jimmy, what's your side of the story? I probably would have addressed this sooner if that was the motivation, but it hasn't been. It's all been hateful comments and all just saying, Jimmy, you did this, and I'm saying you did it. All right, fair enough.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, there you go.
Fair enough.
Let's talk about that. Now, when I hear cancel culture, generally what I'm going to think of is
a platform or an advertiser being taken away from somebody because there is an incompatibility between the provider of the platform or the ad source, the revenue source, and the values of that individual.
Now, when I think about the ways it happens to excess,
I would say the things that are pretty wrong to do is to hold somebody accountable to the beliefs of the long past if it is obvious and apparent that their beliefs have evolved. So something like pulling up a tweet from, 10, 20 years ago, was Twitter around 20 years ago, and holding somebody accountable and saying there's no way you've changed. There is no path to redemption. That's where I would say there is an abuse of cancel culture.
But let me start off by saying this, and this is going to be controversial to a lot of people. Cancellation isn't in itself inherently a wrong action. You do not have any right to a platform. You have a right to free speech. These are very, very different. And there's going to be no accountability for any of that, by the way. The only people who are actually held accountable in this relationship, I talked about this earlier this week on the Trisha Paytas Ethan Klein thing. The only people who will be held accountable for the misinformation that was spread, or people held accountable for still two lies said about them, are the public figures involved. None of the audience who have done bad things here, no people involved in that, will there be any accountability for.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Okay. So yeah, it's literally only accusations. No one going, Jimmy, what's your side of this? This sounds bad. What's your side? There's a lot of people who say, I am so surprised you did this. Not, I'm so surprised they're saying you did this. So what's your side of it? And the reason why you are so surprised is because I didn't do it, because it isn't true. It is the way it is represented simply isn't what happened. It's not reality. You know what? I can't hold it in any longer. Oh my God. So see, hear how specific that is. Getting canceled specifically for having a different opinion than is politically accepted in the day. But they're trying to specify it to this outside group that's other than them. I can't hold in any longer how obviously hypocritical this is, but the examples that are coming up to demonstrate this, I assure you, are still going to make you cringe and laugh. I don't want anybody to be fighting. I don't want anyone to be angry. I do get where a lot of people's anger came from, and we should still seek to be better and have better conversations. Oh my God, you cancel more than anybody or any presence I have ever seen. They have the audacity. Oh my God, I just feel like I have to show you more, but they have the audacity to talk about cancellation when that is their whole existence. Is to say, don't listen to music like this. Don't watch content like this. Don't watch this show. Don't like these actors. And so much of it sucks because, again, none of what I do right now is probably going to matter. There's still going to be this huge narrative driven and people aren't going to watch this video and they're not going to give a shit.
You just can't get into it because they would never understand.
We're also going to continue choosing villains, and then sometimes those villains are going to play the role. I am still going to feel bad for things that happen to Gabbie. I'm going to still feel bad for things that happen to Trisha, and Trisha isn't my friend. And Trisha, like I said, even these people who definitely do shitty, sucky things, I feel bad for. I feel like all we're doing right now is this end of it. And, you know, the demands for an apology, regardless of whether or not you actually did it, demands for you to get involved, demands, because our eyes love to consume this and like this reality show stuff. We just love it. It's what drives us. And I think it is so toxic and so shitty. What? What? How do you have the audacity to say that? How do you have the audacity to talk about everyone else being other people's? You literally talk about Gabbie Hanna using the word pure. You literally create dichotomies of pure and impure. You literally create dichotomies of sin and sinner. You think you can criticize anybody for saying that they are superior to anybody else? You are presenting that despite the fact that science disagrees with you, despite the fact that facts, objectivity, logic, and reason all do not point to your worldview, that you have the highest worldview that gets to tune in to the very secrets of the universe because you know the actual God and his will so much so, you know his will so much so, Jimmysnow, that the Bible, which you say is this perfect book filled with wisdom, apparently it wasn't enough. You needed to write, what are you up to, 4, 5 books now to help women understand what the Bible is actually meaning, because Gabbie Hanna's words just weren't any good until you got in and were able to explain them to people. How do you think, oh my God, how do they not see the irony? Listen, I understand there's a lot of people who aren't self-aware, but usually there's at least some level. They have none. This can't be the best we've got, right? This can't be as good as we get, right? To me, I remember mentioning it on the show the other day. I no longer, since starting YouTube, wonder how coliseums could be filled to watch people put to death, how like punishment rituals were spectator sports, because I've seen a version of it. But you know what doesn't matter to me? This as a drama event and a public spectator event. Of course, Gabbie and Rachel both still matter to me. How they feel still matter to me. That they are okay still matters to me. Even though I feel mad, honestly, at mostly Rachel. What are you talking about? Gabbie Hanna is going to cancel me to an eternity of drama for not being able to honestly believe in him. Because the standard by which people are like you demanding I believe in Gabbie Hanna is not good enough for me. When we have such good standards to demonstrate truth, Gabbie Hanna is canceller in chief. That is who Gabbie Hanna is. Good people would not be okay with that. That's, again, me just anticipating stupid criticisms people are going to make. Because a lot of people on the internet think that the stuff that they put in the comment section is that good. And yet, Jimmysnow, for me, simply not believing does not matter how good a person I am otherwise in my life, is going to cancel me for eternity for that torture, to burn in that hell. You think Jimmysnow is the superior being here? Holy crap. Honestly, this is what I'm saying. They are not at all self-aware. All right, so let's see the ultimate hypocrisy here. Let me take you to the end of their video first, because I need them to set it up. I can honestly say at the end of it that I believe I kept my promise. Everything I've told you is either the truth or what I am very sure is the truth. There was definitely no misinformation purposely given. If somebody has something that I got wrong, you're welcome to point it out. And in the future, if something seems whack that you just can't believe I did it, maybe consider the idea that I didn't and ask for my side of the story. My whole channel is advocating for social justice. I am called a social justice warrior all the time. People think I'm a cancel culture vote. That's not the phrase, that I want to cancel everybody, when in reality, I more want to have conversations. They'll see us in the comments. They'll see us in the comments to the conversation they invited us to participate in. So let's go participate in that conversation. Let's go participate in the platform that they have control over, other people's megaphone. Because again, remember, canceling isn't taking away your ability to say things, it's the megaphone. You don't have a right to the megaphone. You do have the right to say whatever you want. Let's take a look at the video. All right, good enough. Come on over here. And wait a second, I can't participate in this conversation. They invited me to the conversation, and yet comments are turned off. Well, that can't be right, because that's a platform they have control over that I have access to, and they've just deplatformed me. But they invited me to the, I don't have much that I think I care to apologize for, though. I'm going to do my show, I'm going to do my activism, and I'm going to try and be a good friend to my friends. And that is the only thing I did, was try to be a good friend to my friends. And now I get to say this on the other side of showing you that the things being said about me aren't true. So I feel like, because there's a lot of people where if I put this at the beginning, they're like, yeah, of course he doesn't like that. He's in the hot seat. I'm not anymore. You just saw my receipts. You can tell they're not actually inviting anyone to a conversation about it. They're just trying to get that engagement. Get that engagement. Do it, I guess. They literally restrict who can comment. They invite everyone who watches to go and comment, but not everybody who watches actually can comment. Jimmysnow, you have canceled me and thousands of others by restricting access to a platform you have control over. And yet, you're here to talk about how that's wrong, about how your superiority of opinion should not include your ability to censor other people. My goodness. Jimmysnow, this is why you're a frickin' joke, and you are. You advocate for mental health and mental illness and stuff, and you don't like it when anybody uses anything that resembles the kinds of tactics you all use to cancel people's very identities. Your philosophy on platforms and cancellation is mostly just stupid and hypocritical and evil. Can't say it's as evil as like your philosophy on forgiveness, because their philosophy on forgiveness is you don't actually need to get forgiveness from the person. You don't need to do anything to make amends for what you actually did to the person or people it affects. No. Just Gabbie. Basically, I've thought about it a lot and I can bring myself to forgive myself. That's their philosophy on forgiveness, because all of the people Gabbie, Hanna hurt with those old blogs talking about
that doesn't mean I am having a breakdown. That actually means I'm finally healthy. You fucking sick, twisted bitch.
All the people they've hurt with their stuff so far in the types of videos that they've deleted and hidden, they haven't come out and apologized or corrected how their beliefs have evolved. They haven't come out and said, like, we really regret how that has hurt people. Here are the steps we're taking to try and be better people. No. if they've sought forgiveness at all, because frankly, I think they've just taken down the things that are unpopular, but they don't feel any differently. If they've sought any forgiveness at all, it is in no way to the advantage of the people they've actually hurt and slighted.
Jimmysnow, Gabbie, Hanna.
You're not just a joke, because jokes are funny, and you actively harm people.